Welcome back, everyone, to Company of Heroes to another Company of Heroes. I haven't done this shit in so long. To another Company of Heroes 2 replay cast. It only took basically the end of the world and a global pandemic for me to do this again. Yeah, let's get this started. And of course, it is sent in by the one and the only Indochina Ludwig. Now, you do not know who he is, but to those of you who were around in the Empire Owen Rommel days, he is PanzerJuice. So I'm gonna call him PanzerJuice, even though his name is fucking Indochina Ludwig. Who fucking cares? So PanzerJuice has friends. He's playing as the Americans, as you can see. He's got Dante Alighieri also playing as the Americans, because Italian Americans. And his friend Jagdtiger. I mean, could there be a better name? Jagdtiger, of course. I'm gonna buy a Jagdtiger. Even though I'm the Soviets, I'm just such a piece of shit that I can buy a Jagdtiger as the Soviets. And they're against a clan, we would call this back in the day. Jesus Christ, I'm a boomer. I'm a fucking internet boomer. We would call this a clan back in the day, but today clans don't really exist, do they? Anyway, it's like the Balkan Cross Union of Soviet Socialist Republics over here. We have Snoopy, Alex, and Uncle. All of them playing as the Wehrmacht. Oh no, actually Snoopy is OKW. Or as some call it, OKW. Anyway, so Dante Alighieri with his rifleman is going to be pushing up on him, and we have Sturm Pioneers replying, but the Sturm Pioneers at medium range are not going to be all that effective, and the riflemen are getting in the damage. However, Volksgrenadiers are here to save the day, and more of them are coming. Now, before we start, be advised that I've only played a couple of games as a kind of, oh my god, advanced strats, bro. Putting the barbed wire on the green cover. So I'm not like the greatest, actually the volume's way too loud. I'm not gonna be the greatest at commentating like what units do lately, because yeah, I haven't played in forever. Well, I've played, but I don't really know like what the meta is right now, and so don't take any big advice from me. Anyway, a couple of riflemen doing a pretty interesting flank. However, they're gonna be forwarded, I think, by this MG42, which is gonna get right into this building. Obviously, the map, as you can see, is Rejev Winter, which is one of the most annoying maps in this entire game. Why the fuck haven't you banned it? I do not know, but whatever. So here comes the MG42. MG42 does not still have the incendiary rounds, but even without that, it can do some nice damage onto these riflemen. Even though they were in green cover, they got suppressed anyway. However, here comes the conscripts. The conscripts are oorahing into the side, and that's gonna definitely scare the hell out of the MG, because he thinks that there's a Molotov coming, but there's no Molotov coming because he doesn't have the Molotov upgrade. The riflemen were trying to come in from fucking PanzerJuice, but they're getting pinned down and slaughtered by the MG42. So they're gonna have to retreat. And this entire, basically, infantry force is not being all that effective, but the MG42 has to run away anyway because of the PM41 82mm mortar. So the right side of the map is gonna be completely overrun by the Allies, but no, it isn't, because there's actually a couple of Grenadiers coming in from from Alex, who killed Captain Alex over here. He's going to come in with the Grenadiers and restore order to the right side of the map. However, he doesn't actually move in there. He moves back into the western end, where Dante Alighieri is trying to push in with a ambulance reinforcing his infantry, but looks like he lost at least one rifleman squad, and he's not having a good time in general. He needs to get that ambulance the hell out of there before these angry German troops are gonna come in and ruin his day. And in general, he needs support from his allies, because yeah, the Germans are pushing in basically everywhere. In fact, if we take a look at the minimap, we can see that the Germans have a very commanding position, because all of the Allied forces have been basically forced back into their own base. Sniper is out from Uncle, and he's getting chased the hell down from these conscripts. Here comes the Ura, actually. this might be a good idea because of all the negative cover that is around here. The conscripts might be able to get a few good shots in, and he is forced to run away. Now, he does have a medical bunker in his base, so this is not really an issue for him. And nice flank comes in from Snoopy with the Volksrangers and the Panzer Fusiliers as well. He went with the new doctrine, the Grand Offensive, or at least for me it's a new doctrine. It's probably been in the game for like years. Well, I'm guessing that was a rifle grenade from all the veterancy that these grenadiers have. Well, that's pretty devastating. Although, to be honest, it doesn't really look like... Wait. These look like riflemen, but like... His rifleman squad is still alive. Did he have another rifleman squad that he lost? I don't know. Here comes the battle headquarters in a, all things considered, conservative position. Like, it could have been pushed, you know, placed a lot further up. And this is probably a good idea. You never want the battle headquarters to be too far up, especially now that it requires so many upgrades to do the things that it used to do just for free a long time ago. Obviously, with the retreat point unlock and the medics. I don't exactly remember which one was free earlier. I'm pretty sure it was the medics that were free and you had to get the retreat point all the time, but maybe it was the opposite. Maybe it was that at some point both were free. Again, my memory, I'm a boomer. Oh, here comes the Flammenwerfer half-track, and here comes the Flames. However, he is on the ice. This is not the greatest idea because here comes the bazooka from the lieutenant, which is going to force him away. Damaged engine comes in from a rifle grenade from the veteran 1 rifleman. And oh, here comes the flank coming in from Dante Alighieri with the bar on the captain. Getting in some rear armor shots would be very, very nice, but this is not good play. He should have kept himself strictly into the rear side of the half-track so that the flame projectors couldn't target him. In fact, he did not, and he got his lieutenant killed and his captain almost wiped out. So he's gonna have to run the hell away. However, this has allowed PanzerJuice to push up and get some cover in the middle. He's gonna be capping back the VP most likely, and ooh, a 222 scout car comes in. But again, he's got the lieutenant with the Zook. However, here comes also an STKFZ AA half-track. Here comes some rifle grenades. The sandbags are starting to be destroyed. The Grenadiers decide to charge in anyway, which was not the greatest idea because this exposes them way too much to the 50 caliber machine gun. 50 caliber machine gun is actually going to pop the armor-piercing rounds, but he is suppressed by the flak half-track, and the flak half-track in fact pins the 50 caliber. The 50 caliber does get the burst off, almost destroying the flak half-track and forcing his concealing smoke just to get himself run away. Wow, the armored car as well, almost at 0% HP. Very lucky on the German part. Honestly, way too aggressive there. But the 50 caliber, you know, is probably going to be pushed back by this MG42, unless with the veteran C2 that it has, it can do some nice stuff. Here we have a Stewart actually coming in, but oh no, anti-tank rifle grenades. He wasn't able to get that in time, and the Stewart is actually going to charge in to try to get the flak half-track kill. He kills the 222 scout car. He does, however, get an anti-tank grenade. Here comes some Panzerfaust as well, and yeah, he did try to finish off the flak half-track. What a waste of a Stewart. I have no idea what that was about. It seems like, however, Dante Alighieri, who is a bit smarter than PanzerJuice, is going to spam some Rangers with BARs. Excuse me? You just decide to put BARs on Rangers. I'm not sure if this is some genius new strat with big brain like analysis behind it, but oh, that's not good. I'm not sure if, again, this is a new strat with big brain analysis or if it's just some dumb shit. and you should just go Thompsons all the time. But yeah, here comes obviously the flame half-track, and he's gonna get a nice chase, and there's absolutely no AT to speak of. Honestly, this is the biggest mistake that the Allies are making right now. They're just letting themselves be flame forward into oblivion. Here comes the ZSU AA half-track from the Soviets, which is going to be a good counter to the flak half-track. In fact, the flak half-track runs into a mine and an anti-tank grenade on the way home. And he does not wipe any of the squads. He should have probably just gone for it at that point, trying to get a couple of wipes, because that was the choice that he had made, to go in for the kill. But he dithered, sort of teetered around, didn't, you know, have the balls to go in for the massive kills, but thought that he could get out his flame half-track, which when you charge in like that, you're not getting your flame half-track out. You're not getting your half-track out. Like, unless it's a tank, that shit's not getting out. So yeah. Oh, LMG M1919s. So he actually went with the tactical support. He's going to have the Calliope later in the game. I think a pretty decent choice considering how the game is going with the infantry blobs that are forming. That Calliope pick is going to be quite useful. Here comes some Obersoldaten. Snoopy is actually, with the Grand Offensive, he has the STG-44 infrareds. And with the Panzer Fusiliers, with the G-43s, that is definitely what he should be going for because he's lacking close range. And yeah, this Heya half-track in the middle is still being quite effective. The 50 caliber could, in theory, counter him, but honestly, Mr. PanzerJuice should really be going for an M157mm. Although, yeah, like he went for the Stuart. He lost a lot of fuel on that Gambit. He's going though for the Major. See, it did look like he had too little fuel, and so he's going for the Major. Oh boy. I'm not sure that this sorry, not the MG42, this Maxim should be staying here. Here comes the flank from the Rangers, but the AA could just turn around and start shooting on the Rangers. It's not doing it, which is allowing the Rangers to just absolutely obliterate these Grenadiers, so that's quite fine. And in fact, the Maxim didn't really take all that much damage at all. The building itself didn't take much damage at all, which is surprising. Honestly, I think they nerfed the AA half-track's damage against buildings. I don't know, that's kind of weird. ZSU is actually tearing into the flak half-track, but the Rangers cannot finish it off with the BARs. They do manage to retrieve the BAR and not give it up to the Grenadiers, but this engagement is starting to turn out pretty badly for the Allies. However, the mortar turns it around. This Soviet mortar has been a very good pick. Now, the Soviets do have an AT gun, but they haven't done absolutely anything with it. Unlike the Germans, which are using their PaK-40 to push back the ZSU. However, their infantry has been forced away by the Maxim, and so the PaK as well needs to run away, which is going to be protected by the sniper. On the left-hand side, it looks like PanzerJuice is getting kind of swamped by the Panzer Fusiliers. However, you know, the 50 caliber is going to be coming in quite in handy against Snoopy's sort of force composition. So he needs to protect that. He needs to get some veterancy on his riflemen, because yeah, sure, it's great to have those LMG-42, or not LMG, I want to say LMG-42s apparently. It's great to have those M1919s for the firepower, but you absolutely need the veterancy, because riflemen with vet-free are just absolutely amazing, while the base OKW units are still going to be quite effective against you, especially these Obersoldaten. Although, why are you moving through the smoke? You know that there could be a flak half-track. In fact, there was also a bundle grenade coming in. However, the the Obersoldaten need to get the hell out of there. In the meantime, the Rangers decide to run into the MG. And on the right side, there's a bit of a flank. There's actually a Panzer IV on the field for Uncle. So he actually went for the early armor. He managed to flank the AT gun, but the AT gun turns around and starts to put shots into his side armor. So he has to run away. And Oh, is that gonna be a wipe on the Grenadier squad? Chase him down! No, you would have killed him with the BAR, damn it! Alright, so he has to run away with the Panzer IV. And looks like the Rangers are gonna come in, but I'm not sure what they hope to do. In fact, they just have to get the hell out of there. And yeah, the Germans still confirming their sort of commanding lead over the center and left side while contesting the right side of the map. Means that the Allies are down to 319 VPs, and honestly, the resource situation is looking pretty okay for them. Why is that? Are they... No, they're not OPing any of their points. Huh. I'm honestly quite surprised by this turn of events. It looks like it's mostly split even, the map. Oh no, now the Germans are slightly ahead. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there earlier. It was probably probably this strategic point over here was causing some weirdness. Still, if the Germans can maintain parity for most of the game, I'm guessing the meta hasn't changed enough that the Germans are worse late game than the Allies. Oh, here comes the bundle grenade, but he dodges it like a pro. Yeah, dodges it like a pro and gets his LMGs to work on those Obersoldaten in the negative cover. They have to fucking run away before they die, and that's a lucky save on that 400 manpower elite infantry. But he's keeping all of his infantry on the road. Nine Snoopy, why are you doing this? However, PanzerJuice is making the same mistake and charging through the road into a flak half-track. So here comes the flak half-track, is gonna set up. Is there any counter to the flak half-track? Well, there is a Pak 40 that was stolen, so that's a great sort of acquisition for our good Allied players. Amazing anti-tank gun, best one in the game if, again, nerfs haven't hit it. And he's keeping it in the negative cover like a hero. Why are all these guys keeping everything on the negative cover? I have absolutely no clue. Anyway, the ZSU is still alive somehow, and his Vet 2, if it gets the Vet free, it gets... Oh, shit, right, he upgraded it. See, it's not like... It used to be that you could reinforce with the ZSU on, and with the ZSU Vet free... So you'd upgrade the quad, right? And then you'd get it to Vet free, and it would be awesome, because the reinforcement radius on the half-track at Vet free is ridiculous, to say the least. However, even without the radius increase, one of the most amazing things about this unit, when it gets Vet free, is the radius, the sight radius increase. Look at how far this motherfucker sees. Basically, he sees a screen away, which is quite a bit for Hearts of Iron 4. It's quite a bit for Company of Heroes 2. Now, it's not quite on the level of like a vet-free T70 with the spotting mode, but it is one of those units that it is deceptively useful late game. Now, I think at Vet 2 it also gets improves mobility and reinforcement. Okay, so it's not like other half-tracks, other A half-tracks that get better at shooting down aircraft with veterancy, but like, see, you'd think like, oh, light vehicle. Blah, 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 blah. Also, is it tier free? Yeah, it's tier free. Wait. Yeah, it's an M5. It's tier free. So you think, oh, well, I mean, Soviet tier free, pathetic. Fucking Tankovy Battalion Command, 30 fuel, right? Yeah, 30 fuel unit with like 90 munition, anti-aircraft upgrade. Like, this shit, you know, past 15 minutes is worthless. You'd be kind of right in terms of like fighting enemy units and doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, not so useful anymore. But with that sight radius increase, you can actually use it for scouting purposes. And again, units like that one, and let's see if any other units of the type are around for these players. Well, the sniper's kind of that, in that late game, it's really, really easy for the sniper to die, and even its like firepower is not that impressive. Wait. Okay, even its firepower is like not that impressive late game. So, like, other units do the same thing, you know, kill infantry really effectively, just much faster. And again, it's very vulnerable, micro-intensive, but you can just place it into a random like spot in cover and tell it to hold fire and use it to spot. Let's see if there's other units that are deceptively useful late game. The A half-track can shoot down like rocket runs, but it's not the most impressive thing in the world. And I'm not even sure if anyone has, well, there is a P-47 strafing run from the tactical support, and there is the Il-2-Sturmovik attack from Guard's rifle combined. Just as I was saying that, he kills him. He gets his half-track killed. Guard's rifle combined arms tactics. So this is Guard's conscript assault tactics and a KV-1 heavy tank. He is getting a KV-1 heavy tank. Sure. Okay, Sherman, at 17 minutes, he actually gets the kill on the A half-track. See, I was gonna say that the Sherman at 17 minutes, it's probably too late. But considering the amount of enemy infantry that is on the field, it might be useful. Because this thing, the reason you're getting the Sherman is because, come on, you want to murder mass amounts of enemy infantry and bleed them dry. Now, the Germans right now do have a bit of a float going on in terms of manpower, but not nearly as much as I expected. In fact, the Allies are floating a little bit more than the Germans, so starting to dent their manpower and killing their units is going to be quite useful. You absolutely need these conscripts. Okay, running away, because they were very, very close to getting wiped. I hear a Raketenwerfer ready. I also see some artillery, but that looked like a major artillery strike. And yeah, as you can see, the Sherman comes in, you know, vet-free, MG42, boom. Like, he has to run away. Vet-2 Obersoldaten and Vet-2 Panzerfusiliers, Lauf, du Bastard! Whatever. Well, here comes the KV actually making the entire German army run away. So the KV-1 basically Stalingrading. Wait, he sees the sniper? Was stimmt denn mit dir nicht? Es geht durch die Welt ein Geflüster. Das sind die Stimmen der Kriegsminister or something. Euer beschissen Geblobbe. Geblobbe? I think I understand what that word means. Okay. Oh, whoa, tight. Aber euer Amis XD. Well, let's see what his Amis do. The Amis are the Americans, obviously. Dante Alighieri has a Jackson tank destroyer. Nice dodge on the Panzerwerfer. However, the M36 Jackson is not being used carefully enough, and in fact, it goes down. You need to be careful with that thing. Raketenwerfer and Pak-40 anti-tank gun masterfully brought up at the correct moment. And now with that 130 fuel, right? 145. 145. Jesus Christ. 145. MG-Spam ist so viel besser. 2 MGs? Well, apparently Mr. Snoopy is not that happy that Jagdtiger is spamming MGs. Kümmere dich doch einfach das Spiel, blah 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 blah. Soll ich Pius gegen Spam bauen? I don't even know anymore. Nice rifle grenades. They can probably take down the vet-free Maxim. There goes the vet-free Maxim. And I'm not sure why the Panzer IV is moving up. In fact, I'm not sure why the KV-1 is moving back. He needs to stay there to... Ooh, is that a Katyusha? That is a Katyusha. Which, unfortunately... Ah, damn. You should have brought the Katyusha up. I think the Katyusha should have been brought up to, like, here or so that it would have had a superior accuracy on that blob, or mini blob of Grenadiers. And see, this is a problem because he leaves the Maxim on the field to pick up the KV-1. Basically, there was nothing that could have threatened it, because yeah, sure, there's some Panzer tricks, there's a Panzer IV medium tank, but you can just run away. KV has a lot of armor, it can bounce shots from a Panzer IV, and it's got a lot, especially of HP, so it can tank those Panzer tricks very well. All right, Panzerwerfer. Yeah, the Panzerwerfer knows what's up. He knows that he needs to get close for the rockets to be of any you know, accuracy. Oh, there goes the MG from who knows what. There's also a Calliope on the field. Calliope, oh, that might have been the Calliope, right? Because he's got 6 kills. Calliope Barrage gets the first, you know, blow in, and it looks like everyone is gonna stock up on that rocket artillery quite heavily, which is obviously a great decision. The Germans should honestly at this point try to focus, and you have to, really now. He's getting another quad. That's interesting. The Germans should really start to focus their rocket artillery on dealing with the Allied support weapons, especially the MGs that were a problem on the right side. There's also this Pak 40 that was stolen. Oh, wow. There goes the Sherman. Because the Axis moved pretty clearly, I think, except for a bit of the Americans, but the Axis very, very clearly have the infantry advantage at this point, especially when it comes to long-range engagements that are so basically unavoidable on this map. With these veteran-free grenadiers with light machine guns, and with the veteran Panzer Fusiliers and Obersoldaten, there's absolutely fucking nothing that these, like, look at this, fucking high-tier American infantry, superior number to the Grenadiers, and it takes a while for them to kill them. Although, to be fair, they did massacre these guys, you know, quite well. They really should have gotten in some rifle grenades on the Ranger blob. But still, like, eventually, the Americans are not gonna have the infantry superiority, so they really need to focus their artillery on dealing with the support weapons. If they leave these anti-tank guns firing and getting veterancy, it's gonna start to turn bad for their tanks. Speaking of their tanks, Alex over here is gonna go for an elephant. And that is probably the worst choice he could have made, because, like, see, what's the elephant gonna do right now? Try to reach the Calliope? Like, sure, you can shoot at a KV-1, but, like, to defeat a KV-1, you don't really need an elephant. And plus, you fucking think that this elephant is gonna be sent to help his allies? No, it's gonna be sent to the center, where there is nothing for it to shoot at. Like, Mr. PanzerJuice has a Calliope that he spent all of his fuel on. Dante Alighieri is gonna get a Pershing, though. He might be thinking about countering the Pershing because of the Rangers that he saw. So he knows that he is heavy cavalry. However, at the same time, like, the Pershing is a mobile tank. You can get it around an elephant really, really easily, to be honest. I don't know. I really don't know the thinking behind the elephant. Tiger, definitely a lot better, but the Tiger has been there for a while, and Snoopy over here is gonna start to think about other armor choices. He does have a Schwer Panzer headquarters with an upgrade, the Panzer authorization, so he can get the Panzer medium tank if he wants. He can also get the Jagdpanzer 470, which in my opinion would be a better choice than the elephant. So maybe he should have just waited, I say he, I mean Alex. Captain Alex should have just waited for his ally to get a Jagdpanzer for all their tank destroyer needs, and gotten out perhaps more Panzerwerfers to deal with the anti-tank guns. Again, there's only one anti-tank gun, but it's pretty fucking dangerous, as you can see. Or maybe he's not a doctrine that can get an LEFH. An LEFH would have been very effective right now, so that's kind of unfortunate that they don't have that. Now, Uncle over here has this strategic reserve, so he has the Tiger Ace. Here comes the most Variable unit in the universe. Yeah, Michael Wittmann Tiger Ace. So here he comes, and he's gonna style on that KV-1. Now, the ZSU half-track is getting sort of, you know, memed by the Panzer IV, but he's gonna run away. Unfortunately, the ZIS-3 was pushed up very, very far, and so ZIS-3 is gonna be destroyed. They might want to steal that, to be honest, rather than destroy it. Just in case the Allies start to spam out some armor in the later game. Like, they don't have that much fuel, but the game could conceivably go on long enough for the Allies to spam some armor. Speaking of that, let's speed up the game, because there's not really much of interest going on right now. See, like, if the Allies do not find some way to shift the paradigm of this game from basically head-on engagements that favor long-range, heavy armor units that the Germans are right now utilizing, if they don't find a way to switch from that mode, they're gonna lose eventually, either through bleeding units and eventually losing all units with veterancy, or losing all the units and not being able to replace them because of manpower, or through just VP loss. So there goes the Pak 40, as you can see, and that was basically the only thing that was keeping the Tiger on its toes right now. And the Tiger with veterancy 2, 24 kills, is gonna be stronger and stronger and stronger. At Vet 4, he gets Combat Blitz. He's also got improved Command Tiger, which the Tiger crew will sacrifice combat performance to coordinate nearby infantry and vehicles. He's got Coordinated Barrage. That's all from the Panzer Commander, I'm guessing. So OKW Tiger, forced to be reckoned with, especially if he's gonna get some veterancy. Well, let's check out that veterancy. The Command Tiger fires more accurately and reloads more quickly. Oh, that's always that's always the best thing. Unlocks the Combat Blitz. Tiger gains increased mobility, speed, and acceleration. Yes, the balance. I can taste that already. So yeah. Basically, if they don't like find a way to shut this Tiger down, it's gonna get more and more balanced as the game goes on. And at some point, it's gonna become so balanced that they have to surrender, because they wouldn't want to, you know, utilize overpowered units against this. It's just too balanced. It wouldn't be fair play. So the Allies need to find something. Now, PanzerJuice does have something in the Calliopes. The Calliopes can start to really, really tear into the Axis blobs, especially if they get some of their own balanced veterancy. And I think that that's okay, but it's not enough. Like, PanzerJuice. Oh, is he gonna kill the veterancy 4 Panzer Fusiliers? Oh! No! Why did you retreat? Okay, so, in case some of you don't know already, you probably do, but like, what to do in that case? Your Panzer Fusilier could have killed this lieutenant. How? You select a Panzer Fusilier, and you right-click on the model of the lieutenant that's using the rifle. One man picks up the rifle, the other man picks the ammunition. When the man with the rifle dies, the man behind him picks up the rifle and shoots. So because he has one rifle and one bazooka, you kill the guy with the rifle, right? But the bazooka takes priority because it's a special weapon. So you kill the rifleman model. At that point, and he would have killed the rifleman model because, yeah, sure, oh my god, vet free lieutenant. You're a fucking vet 4 Panzer Fusilier or a G43. You're gonna outshoot a rifleman in the lieutenant squad. And then you get to work killing the bazooka guy who cannot hit anything. Although, to be fair, there is a rifleman squad coming in, so all this. But just in case this ever happens to one of your games, that's what you need to do. Yeah, basically, the Allies, like, the problem is, yeah, sure, PanzerJuice has a pretty impressive lineup when it comes to anti-infantry, with the 2 Calliopes and the 4 riflemen with the LMGs. He's strong. He can deal with the infantry blobs in the long term. However, Dante Alighieri also has quite a bit of resources sunk into anti-infantry. Specifically these Rangers, which he's all upgraded with BARs. Now, M9 bazookas are more effective when used by elite infantry such as Rangers and paratroopers. I've never used this. Oh yes, that was a good barrage. Good job, PanzerJuice. Good job, PanzerJuice. You did well. You did well, my Padawan, my young Padawan. So what he did is obviously he forced the blob to retreat and then barrage the headquarters to which he was retreating. Unfortunate that the vet-free Obersoldat survived with like 10 HP out of a million HP. Yeah, that's very sad. Anyway, the Allies are gonna need to find a way to deal with this fucking Tiger. Now, one good way to deal with this fucking Tiger is the Pershing, which has amazing range, amazing long-range accuracy and penetration, and amazing mobility to utilize that long range. However, the Pershing is going to be a bit in trouble when it comes to not getting pooped on by the elephant if it doesn't utilize flanking maneuvers, which is right now is simply refusing to. It's just taking on these head-on fights, which you shouldn't, because as Sun Tzu says, if you fight where the enemy wants you to, you're gonna lose. That's the exact quote, by the way. Written in the, not even like, he wasn't even speaking in Chinese when he was writing that stuff. Just fake news. So the Pershing at this point really should be packing up and using the fact that the riflemen from PanzerJuice are taking over the left-hand side basically to support the riflemen. And oh, here comes a broom bear. Oh yes! I'm just basically gonna blast the Panzer lead after seeing that. What a wipe. Oh, is that gonna be another wipe? Panzer 4 misses. Yeah, basically he should be utilizing, I'm not sure if you see this, but Helping Hands is stuck at home because of COVID-19 coronavirus. I'm also stuck at home because of COVID-19 coronavirus, so yes. Yeah, basically, the infantry over here needs some support. Oh wow, he's actually gone a couple of rear echelons of Zooks. Although this might not be the most effective thing when all of this is what they're facing. He needs to be more careful. Otherwise he's gonna bleed that manpower dry. Now, how's the Soviet going? Ooh, Su-85 to counter the Tiger Ace. Nice. So the Tiger Ace, have they changed the Tiger Ace? Because he's definitely getting way more resources. Yeah, he doesn't have any resource penalty from the Tiger Ace. Now the Tiger Ace is just a, it's a tiger that costs as much as a King Tiger. Huh. Wait, he can get more than one Tiger Ace. See, this is Boomer Woodstock discovering all the new things in Company of Heroes. He can get more than one Tiger Ace. That Tiger Ace is recharging over there. So if he loses this Tiger Ace, he can get another Tiger Ace, and the Tiger Ace vets up. So now, why is the Tiger Ace different from a different tank from the Tiger? Because it can use Spearhead and vehicle crew repair. Vehicle crew repairs on a Tiger. You monsters. Sure. Oh, here comes the Panzerwerfer. Okay, looks like, oh, I have no idea what's going on. So the Obersoldaten are gonna die. Focus the Obersoldaten. So you've killed that thing. Focus the Obersoldaten. Okay, the Obersoldaten are dead. Anti-tank grenade sinks the Panzer IV into 2 centimeters of icy water. There we go. Fucking praise Mliech. Praise fucking Yorkshireon, or whatever, and the waves are gonna drink the Panzer IV. And actually the Calliopes survive, which was surprising. I didn't expect those Calliopes to survive there. However, yeah, as you can see, like, this is exactly what I was talking about, with PanzerJuice having all the tools necessary to deal with the German blobs. Now Snoopy has no veteran infantry left. Now this isn't as big of a problem for the OKW, because they can just simply get Obersoldatens, and that's gonna be, you know, relatively okay if you can upgrade them. Regardless of their veterancy, they can regain it quite easily because they're strong enough to begin with. Jagdpanzer IV, these people really like their tank destroyers. In fact, the Soviet Union likes their tank destroyers. Man, honestly, why aren't the Germans in the center trying to help their German comrade on the right side? Like, honestly, they're fighting over center, right? They can keep control of the left side because they have the buildings over here. And they shouldn't have that big of an issue, you know, retaking the center. Yeah, the Panzer, or sorry, not the Panzer, the Calliopes are a bit of a bother, and, you know, all the American infantry. But they can at least put some pressure on it. But then they should really be dedicating some... That was a lot of XP tickers, but a very unimpressive amount of kills. But they should honestly be dedicating some effort to helping out their ally on the right side. He needs their support, you know? Like, he doesn't even have the repair capacity to keep his Tiger Ace topped up. In fact, he fucking loses the Panzer IV. Then he decides to take Spearhead on and show the rear armor to Su-85s. You know, Uncle is just not having a good day. Here comes the Il-2-Sturmavik attacks, ripping through the Pioneers. He cannot even repair with his one Pioneer squad now. Like, this is a thing, apparently. Yeah, you know, it's just... Oh, wow! Katyusha just destroys his... oh, wow! Okay. The rocket spread RNG gods go in favor of the Katyusha today. So basically, you know, the Germans have lost all their infantry. They've also lost basically their entire right side. Why have they done this? Well, if I were to hazard a guess, they, much like the Allies, basically did not change their game plan at all from the mid-game into the late game. While the Allies stocked up on a massive amount of artillery, anti-infantry artillery, the Germans basically started to build a whole bunch of anti-tank that they don't really need. Like, I don't know. They don't really need all this anti-tank. And yeah, sure, they've got some rocket artillery of their own, but... Oh, nice counter battery from the Calliope's. Excellent counter battery barrage. Really should have ran away with those Panzerwerfers. And especially on the right side, like, yeah, you got the Tiger Ace, you got some infantry, but like, I don't know, you had your Panzer IV, I don't know, you got 500 fucking munitions, you could be reasonably doing something with that. I don't know, actually, this doctrine doesn't really seem to be all that good at burning munitions. You could reasonably be doing something with that, but especially like, yeah, sure, you got a Tiger with 58 kills. Fucking send it to flank the Su-85, you know, and help the Tiger Ace on the south, because guess what? If you don't do that, the Su-85 spam. The two Su-85s, if they're used correctly, and in fact he's using this as an MG. Yeah, he's using the AAA, the quad, as an MG. What a god. You know, eventually, like, your ally, who is not doing all that well, is just going to be overwhelmed and destroyed. And then the Soviet, who, you know, inspired by the glorious doctrine of Marxism-Leninism, knows that sharing is caring, he's supporting his allies. Which is not something that these fucking Nazis seem to have learned, you know, the fucking... I don't know, the Nazis, I guess, are just like, I guess if my ally is in trouble, I guess he's not enough of an Aryan Ubermenschen, left him to die. And so now they're in the not so great situation of having to face overwhelming American infantry, because, you know, their infantry got destroyed, so it wasn't able to whittle down eventually the Allied infantry, although the Tiger is doing a good enough job of that. And have to deal with flanks coming in from the Soviets. Urra! Into anti-tank grenade, into the fucking, you know, conscripts providing vision for all these guys. And the Su-85 is taking pot shots into there. Tiger's still racking up the XP though, and this Tiger's up to 72 kills. So now that the Allies have sort of regained the upper hand a little bit, and we can see in terms of the pop cap, we have that the Allies are, this is something I always used to do, and I think it provides a pretty good gauge as to how the game is going. Earlier on, I'm betting that the pop cap was in favor of the Germans, but now the Allies have 137 plus 89, 146, 226, I think. Yeah, 226, while the Nazis are at 178. So the Allies basically have like a 1/3-ish over the Axis. If we take a look at the, where is it? If the graphs, the army value, which is basically PopCap, we can see that, yeah, like the Allies are going up and up and up, with just a slight dip for PanzerJuice, who's lost a couple of veteran riflemen, while the Nazis have just taken a pretty big step downwards. A few minutes ago, the Nazis were quite a bit ahead of the Allies, and they had the sort of advantage of attrition on their side. Now, though, shit's going pretty much the wrong way. Alex is floating 1,000,000 manpower and he's not doing jack shit with it, because at this point, it's also starting to head into the sort of psychological realm. Once you lose all of your fucking veteran infantry and all your, you know, strong Wehrmacht super soldiers, it starts to get, you know, sad. You think, you know, we've lost. Like, there's a psychological dimension to Company of Heroes 2, because Company of Heroes 2 is warfare, and warfare is psychological. And so, if you're basically morale, like, your physical, morale is dropping, you're gonna play worse. And you're gonna do shit like what Alex is doing and not have, like, you know, used his resources for millions of years and then shits out a bunch of pioneers because he doesn't know what to do with them. At the same time, though, oh look, you're using like multiple people to fight the overpowered Soviet or whatever that was just so completely thrashing Uncle. And guess what? With the Vet 5 Tiger in there, they just absolutely obliterated the Soviet forces. So now Yag Tiger is in a bit of a shit spot. He's lost all of his armor, although he has plenty of resources to get them back, to get those tanks back. Oh wow, this is good flank from Pershing. Wait. And the award for the most useless unit goes to the elephant. Yeah, this elephant hasn't been so very useful. However, now it could be useful, as the Pershing sort of fails to defeat the Jagdpanzer in time, and so, yeah, he exposes himself to getting elephanted. See, the problem is, the elephant, if he had been, like, over here, he could have taken some pot shots at the Pershing while he was flanking the Tiger. He wasn't, because he was repairing back to full health, because I don't want to lose my elephant. Yeah, at this point, morale is starting to become important too. So, taking these massive losses is not good, because, you know, you almost even forget that you can replace them, because it's like, oh no, I've lost my veteran unit. So anyway, the Germans, thanks to the fact that that Pershing decided to chase the Jagdpanzer 4, have a little bit of a sort of breathing space. And obviously, thanks to the fact that the Soviet Union has basically gone in and, you know, kind of battle Kiev'd their entire army into oblivion. They have a shot at coming back, the Germans. And Uncle has some pretty good units still. He's got a vet-free sniper, which can utilize the incendiary armor-piercing rounds, and again, it can do the sort of spotting trick. He can play the scout. He's got a Panther, and he's got especially a Vet 2 Tiger Ace. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, you retard? Run away! Wait, why is he chasing? That's... Whoa! Wait, why is there a... Why? Just... Why? Why are you doing this to me? Alright, that's the thumbnail. Why? Why is there a full health, abandoned Panzer in the German base? What happened? Company of Heroes never ceases to amaze me. Anyway, oh no! Why? I'm guessing that he kind of, the pathfinding kind of screwed him over there. But maybe he survives, no. Oh no, he's abandoned too. Panzerfaust him. Oh no, he doesn't have Panzerfaust because he doesn't have infantry company or light mechanized. Because he got rocket artillery so much that he lost his fucking first buildings. He should really back tech to those. Anyway, Elephant is moving up to show those allied Jews who's the superior race. Of course, though, the Jews are coming in with, you know, a horde of infantry that he cannot deal with, so he has to run away. And in fact, the Tiger race is gonna die. I guess this is the explanation of bazooka experts, you know, more effective. I guess that's what that means. He's gonna lose at least one squad, if not two, of Rangers. But that was worth it. Like, he has destroyed the Tiger race with the veterancy. You know, the Tiger with the Vet 5, you know, the real Tiger race with the 72 kills is dead, and it's been replaced by a green Tiger, you know, basically 14-year-old Hitler Youth Panzer Division tank drivers. And, I mean, at this point, he's kind of just derping. He runs the fucking Obersoldan into the LMG rifleman without stopping to use his own LMG. I don't know. And throughout all of this, the Calliopes are starting to really get some veterancy, which is crucial actually for the Calliopes because you get the recharging, you get the weapon recharging rate, and that's important because weapon recharge rate equals more barrages, and normally the Calliope has a very, very, very long cooldown. So getting those veterancy stacks on the Calliopes are quite a crucial thing when you're playing with them. Also, Panzer just decided to go for a Jackson. I'm not sure about this choice, to be honest. Like, yeah, sure, it can do pretty well against the Tiger, but there is the Elephant, so I'm really not sure. Perhaps, yeah. See, his only other option would have been the Sherman, though, because he has the tactical support. He cannot get an Easy 8 or an M10 because really mobility would have been his friend, but yeah, the Jackson does have mobility, but it's just, you know, it's a bit too fragile to use the mobility. At this point, basically, the only anti-blob for the Germans are their HE tanks and the Broom Bear. I don't know, I feel like Alex should be looking towards getting some more Panzerwerfers at this point. Otherwise, the American blob is going to whittle them down, which is generally the opposite of what happens. Generally, it is the German blob that whittles down, and here comes the glorious rear echelon troops. Not a good idea. That was not the greatest idea ever, bro. So he's lost one rear echelon. You know, not the biggest deal, but better not to lose it. In the meantime, the Soviet Union, I serve the Soviet Union, has rebuilt his Su-85s. I mean, of course, he's Jagdtiger. Of course he builds Su-85s. And here Panthers are about to show the Su-85s why Panthers are cool. As they come in, they flank. They kill one of the Su-85s. And that's why vet-free Su-85s are so difficult to replace. Because vet-0 Su-85s at 48 minutes suck dick. Now, vet-0 Su-85s in the mid-game have a lot of time to build up veterancy. Late game, you have to rely on your enemies doing stupid shit like exposing the rear armor of the Panzer. But they don't always do that, you know. Still, Jagdtiger playing very impressively. If there's one thing that right now he could be doing better is the fact that he has 70 pop cap. So basically he's got, once he replenishes his infantry, he's got like a 20 more pop cap to work with and like 1,200 manpower. He could probably get some guards riflemen. Get the hell out. Oh, you see PanzerJuice. Oh wow! Holy fuck! Okay, so he got quite lucky that the enemies decided to retreat in the correct line for his Calliopes to be effective. But like, PanzerJuice forgot one of the big sort of troops about Calliope. You don't do 2 barrages in the same exact spot. You do them in different places so that you can cover more. So like, for example, 1 barrage here and 1 barrage here. Thankfully, because what was going on is that he barraged here, but the infantry had moved on to here by the time the barrage was sitting. But he saw the barrage coming in and so retreated, and so obviously retreating for the base retreated him into the barrage anyway. So that was lucky. But if he hadn't been lucky, you know, by staggering the barrages and doing 1 here and 1 here, he would have been he would have been in an okay Oreo kind of spot. Anyway, normal Tiger struggling to build the veterancy back up. At this point, the veterancy advantage is, I'd say, pretty firmly in the Allied camp. And that, along with the fact that the Allies have more units overall, is obviously a very, very nasty situation to be in for the Axis. What could they do to change the situation? Honestly, like, they went very, very, very heavy on tank destroyers when the enemy armor was very insufficient to counter German mediums and heavies. So, except for the right side, where there was the guy that built the Panthers and the Tiger Ace, so, you know, the shit that gets countered by SUs and stuff, everywhere else was very vulnerable to just a very simple Panther Tiger combo, or even like Panzer Force Pam. So I don't know, going for these elephants all the time. Although to be fair, he didn't lose his elephant. But like, yeah, going for like elephant and getting broom bears. Yeah, sure, broom bears are good against the blob, but like they get crushed by the Pershing and the fucking whatchamacallit. Jackson. Oh my. Poor Snoopy is just getting Calliope'd and Katyusha'd in his base all the time. See, okay, actual biggest mistake, should not use the retreat point when it's clear the enemies know where it is and have the means to fuck it up. Definitely should be considering that right about now. But yeah, basically, the Germans went way too heavy, in my opinion, on the tank destroyers. And since they went so heavy on the tank destroyers, they sort of allowed the Allies to get infantry superiority by just spamming artillery and anti-infantry, which couldn't get punished because there were no medium tanks to fuck up the artillery, and there were no... Well, there was a very, very limited amount of anti-infantry armor. Even medium tanks can be anti-infantry armor, so that fits in. And now the Allied infantry can just kind of do whatever the fuck it wants. And since the Allies have infantry superiority, their armor can play a lot more safely than the German armor, and, you know, that's the end of that. So, yeah, Woodstock, for now, back in business when it comes to Company of Heroes 2. I'll probably do, like, a cast or two every week or two. And, in case... I'm not sure if my email is in my description. See, because I know it sounds retarded, but like I have a template for the description. In case it isn't, since you know, I remembered that this used to be a thing, I'm gonna put my email in my description. So if you want to send in your replays, do it, I guess. And you know, I'll probably just get flooded with like 17 replays and not have the, you know, capacity to cast half of them, and basically, you know, everyone's gonna be mad at me. But like, yeah, you know, send in your replays, and you know, thank y'all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.